Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK community. This is Fortunate coming at you. It is now November 6th. It is Sunday. We're sitting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for 5 hours ahead of that is about 1 a.m. UTC or so, give or take. We have filled the private sale a little bit earlier, and we are letting people know that we extended the private sale for a little bit longer. Not too much more of me. I'm going to pass you over to our wonderful and amazing founder, Mr. Atlas. He is going to have the floor tonight, so the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Fortunate. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here this evening. This is a really special podcast, as we have filled way ahead of time, many days before our private sale. First, we do want to extend our apologies to anyone that was whitelisted and heard us say, "Hey, you're not in any hurry. You've got your spot." We got till Friday, and that was the case when we started. We gave our phase one investors access to go ahead and mint on Friday. We did not allow anyone else to come in. They had their positions for some reason or another. A lot of the folks, I guess, didn't move fast enough, and we didn't foresee a demand anywhere near what we've seen. We thought it would take some time. We're going to do some AMAs and go out and talk to some fantastic folks and explain to them what's going on, go over a white paper and answer all the questions, the way that, you do these things. So we didn't really extend or convey any sort of, hurry to anyone that they had to expedite going in and, getting their NFT, going ahead and minting. So with that, someone's got their microphone on and putting an echo. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we continue here to say to you folks, we do apologize. The subscription yesterday really started to pick up when we were letting the other folks come and not to sit on the sidelines, but to come and partake and invest with us and be able to mint. And it's just grown. And the demand has been, really, really something that we're very grateful for. Quite exciting and fantastic. Here, we celebrated this evening. And, understanding that there were some investors that came and said, "Hey, I was rounding up some money. I thought I had more time," Atlas and the rest of the team, we're a little bit, again, someone's got their microphone on. I think it's you, Fortunate. Thank you, sir. We understood that there was some folks that were, concerned, and they understood they had the chance to come into the public sale starting on Friday, which was really when we were, aiming to really finish off. That was our deadline. We went ahead and made a decision here as a team to extend the private sale round and add $50,000 more to give those folks an opportunity to really come in and take their NFT and do their mint. So congratulations to you folks that took advantage and got in a hurry and were able to go ahead and get your NFT minted. And for the folks that are still whitelisted, I have to check if one of you, our admins and moderators, can check. I believe last time I checked, we're at 97% filled for the extension. As soon as that is finished, we are going to officially close. Now, that doesn't mean that it's absolutely over. There's a lot of folks that did not get a chance to be whitelisted for the private sale. You have the great opportunity that if you update your avatar with our logo and you write to me and you have me put you on the list of the contest, on Tuesday, we're going to do a contest and we're going to randomly probably, spin the wheel and find some winners that are going to get the opportunity to go ahead and mint at the same price of the private sale. It'll be the same parameters from $250 to $1,000 per investor per wallet. So look, we're extremely happy. We are very grateful to all of you who have come and joined us and taken interest in being part of this fantastic project that we've been working on since February, and finally it's coming to light. And I think folks are looking, very closely to the details, how everything's really put together, and understanding that there's really something special here about this project. Our offering, the way that the system was designed, is different. It does have certain factors that really give it that sustainability that we're all searching for. With that, I'd like to see if maybe Brett, I know he's driving and his connection and sound might not be the best, but I want him to say a couple of words, Brett, if you can, as you put so much work here shoulder to shoulder with me and the rest of the whole development team working hard. And we're very grateful for everything you've done, and we want to rejoice and congratulate you as well.
Hey Ellis, how you doing? Yeah, thank you. We're just coming back from Mexico. We had a little family weekend. I think it was on Telegram, 85% of it. It worked out great. Yeah, it was great to see the response today. And I was just listening into the chat earlier, and I heard SK on there, and there was one other gentleman as well, and they were just describing the project and the products in their own words. It was just great to hear. They can probably do a better job explaining than I can. I tend to be more on the technical side, and the way that those guys break it down and their experience level and everything that they're bringing to the table is just, it's really neat to hear. So you create something, you run all this stuff in your head, and you think about all these interactions and what people could do to exploit it or manipulate it, and then you kind of put it out there, and now we're starting to see people kind of pick up on the philosophies and a lot of those things that we've been looking at for a long time with Dr. Kelly Snook and the Drip Sustainability Group, and all of those things have kind of gone into the idea, the philosophy that we have for this product. So yeah, it's great to see that people are embracing it. We see a lot of good chatter on several different groups about it, sort of catching on to the idea. And it's a difference in philosophy and how people have been trained to participate in these daily ROI dApps. So yeah, really great to see. I'm really happy and excited for the community. I think it's going to be a great group and a great team of people all working together. And I think just there's going to be more and more opportunities coming out of this that we haven't even foreseen yet. So great response today. Congratulations to everyone that got in, and I'll be listening closely. If there's any questions, just let me know.
Fantastic and great work. Absolutely fantastic. And just checking here, we are at 97.7% filled with the extension. So if you folks are whitelisted, anybody here that didn't get a chance is on our whitelist, please go ahead and get your mint done. We are leaving that open until it fills. For anyone else, we're really not accepting any more whitelist submissions for the waiting list, as we are full, and we're going to make sure that for the public pre-sale, you guys are going to be able to have a fantastic opportunity as well. With that, let me see here. We have a couple of great announcements besides just the fantastic results from today with the filling of our private sale. We are going to launch for you guys the website so that you could all go ahead and see what the team here has put together. I know it's still not completely finalized. Our team profiles and advisor profiles are still left to be added. 1 second here. There we go. All right, you guys can go ahead, admins, and post a link for the community here to check out the website, and we'd love to see the feedback that you guys have. See what you think about it. So go ahead, guys, and launch it.
Who's going to do that, guys, just so we don't spam the chat with the same links?
You can go ahead and take care of it, or Fortunate.
I got it, bro.
Thank you so much. All right, let's get that pinned when it's time as well. and Mr. Sawtooth Dentist. Funny name, man. Whitelist is closed. There is no waiting list for that anymore, except if you want to join the contest that's pinned, you do have an opportunity there. And there you go, folks. You have the link to ArkFi.io. And please make sure take a look at that. If anybody has any questions about it or comments, we're looking forward to that. And let me look around the room too, as we have some fantastic folks that are back, some that are new. And there's another fantastic announcement. Let me see if the gentleman is here. Bear with me as we go through the long list of participants this evening. One second here. Okay. Z, are you here?
Yes, sir. How we
Have
doing?
you checked out the link to the website?
Yeah, I'm actually on it right now. I'm actually going through it. It's a really, really awesome website. I mean, it's very simple in its manner, and it's sort of just like the UI design. The website's doing the same. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it needs to be congruent to have a professional feel. I think that you always have to be able to transcend that into all your social medias. That's something else that we'll be working on this week. We have the Discord server that's been set up for quite a few months, but we want to go ahead and make sure that everything is set up accordingly. We're going to be able to, on the Discord, set up channels for the teams. That's something that we don't have here in Telegram. Discord lends itself to really being a platform where you can have your own channel, all within really the whole platform. So we encourage you guys to get in contact with us if you want us to set up a team for you in the Discord. Our Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff is going to start to come together. We've really primarily been putting the focus into the contracts and the DApp, the website that's now coming together. And I believe that the team profile is gonna be pretty impressive as well. We've got some fantastic folks that, when you really understand who's working here, their experience, and how they're able to really take the responsibility to work hard and deliver on the roadmap. We've got a very ambitious roadmap, but our backgrounds in the real world and what we're doing in crypto and been doing in crypto, really coming together and combining that is going to really, I think, set us far apart from what a lot of folks are really doing out here. Is there somebody that wanted to ask a question or make a comment? Okay. Yeah, I heard somebody unmute their mic. So if they wanted to come and join us, we'd love to have you. SK, you checking out the website?
I've not checked it out yet. Let me go see.
Go right ahead. Glad to have you. Us. Go ahead.
So yeah, I was just asking. I just wanted to ask if I should be listening to every single Ask Me Anything that's recorded, because I'm trying to catch up on everything right now. And as I've managed to get some free time, so is it best to just read the documents on the website, or just?
Absolutely. Especially if you're experienced in the ROI DApp space, I think reading the white paper is just going to, really sink in and come naturally to you. If you're not, I think that coming over and spending some time with us is important, as you understand how to really, manage your investment and create a strategy that's going to work for you and the investment that you want to make and your goals, right? So I would say start there. And as far as really listening to the other AMAs, I don't think you really have to spend that time, primarily because we're always here every single evening. Phase one, we did 67 podcasts in 69 days, that, congruently. So we want to make it very simple for you if there's a big announcement or something like that, and just to make it, I think, friendly and easy for folks that maybe they wanted to catch up, and this hour is not convenient, they're putting the kids to sleep, or they're in Asia and it's really early in the morning. We're going to make sure that the first 10-15 minutes are primarily just updates, information, going over some questions, and then we kind of relax a little bit, and we talk about other things. We have Z here that's going to be joining us and just talking about DeFi, and having an atmosphere here really primarily of education every evening. So just like you might have some questions, you come one day, you get your questions answered. You're not required to be here with us if there's nothing that you really have to ask. If you want to hang out, if you want to contribute, answer questions, you're more than welcome to, and we'd love to have you guys here. And generally we stay a while. I think on average it's like an hour and a half, to 2.5 hours. So I hope that answers your questions. I mean, do you have anything right now that you'd like to ask regarding the white paper?
Yeah, so on the new website, the white paper is not loading. That's all. So
Hey, hold on a second. Let's look
that's
at that.
for me. It might be on my phone. It might be just one of those things.
That would be the link to the docs.
Yeah.
Okay.
.ARkFi.io.
I've just double checked it is working.
Okay,
but it's not in a PDF format. It's just a website.
It didn't load for me either. Just so you know.
It's loading for me. I wonder why. Are you on a mobile device, sir?
Are you on an Android phone? No.
I am on an Android. And I just tried it in desktop mode as well. It's not loading for me. So.
I'm on an Android phone, so perhaps it's that. But
yeah, it worked for me on the iPhone.
Yeah, I'm gonna try on my Android. Second, guys. Nope, it's not working for me on the Android as well. Okay,
everything else loads apart from the white paper.
Okay, I'm sure that we can get that fixed quite fast. Let me see. I think Alex already checked out. He's been up since early. These guys have been working so hard today. It's been a long one, but a fun one. Let me just reach out. Just want to get that
Alex has
all.
just gone offline. You might catch him like 3 minutes ago. He went off.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex is a legend. Today he worked like on so many things, everything, taking care of everything. He's amazing. And plus the two guys that had a problem, my guys, like he sorted out like so professionally, quickly, and he's been on it like the whole day. I think he's off to rest now.
Yes. Well, I'm sure we can get that fixed tomorrow. It's not an urgent.
It's not an issue at all.
Correct. The important things are working just fine.
Yeah, and the website looks pretty neat. So
thank you so much. So let me see here. I appreciate it.
And we are at 99.2%, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. Fantastic.
99.2. Just one click away.
All right. I hope that folks are happy that we took the decision to open it back up a little bit more. It's not really going to affect token supply for the pre-sale rounds and our launch. 50,000 is pretty small. So I believe it was the right decision to make here that the team sat down. And there was one gentleman in particular who was really emotional, which happens to investors sometimes, because he was not having the full amount that he wanted to invest. So he's like, hey, I've got some time. I've been over there. I've talked to them. Everything's okay. And then he showed up. He's like, wait, what's going on here? And we want to make sure that nobody gets left behind. And even if you didn't have the chance to get a whitelist spot, we want you to understand that we've got 3 more weeks ahead of us to make sure that everyone gets their position and gets their team organized and set up. And there's some fantastic folks that are already in here that are so impressive. Their background, their experience, so professional, the videos they do, the Medium articles, and these fantastic communities they're so professional in the way they operate. And to have them here with you guys first, it's just going to put us in a position to really shine, to really be able to onboard a lot of new investors. We want to cross over, we want to transcend, we want to go to the real world and have folks really discover DeFi and what they can do here. We all know that what's sitting in your bank is decaying, is being capitalized on a daily basis with inflation. And if you want to secure your future, if you want to have a chance to have some financial stability, passive income, this is the place to be. This is the main reason that we've decided that a lot of our efforts going to be coming after launch to develop our mobile app, where you can go have a dinner or a park, or maybe at a bar with a friend, and you're talking about investing, and you tell them about ARK and how happy you are here and how well you're earning on a sustainable long-term basis. And they'll be able to download the application, scan your QR code, and automatically they're in your team, right? So they could get their credit card, they could type it in, go through a transaction, get their ARK token, get into the ARK vault, and then they're earning with you. So that's going to be great for the truck drivers, the Uber folks, the pizza delivery guys, the nurses, the doctors, your neighbors, everyone. So we are going to put so much time and effort into that. And then we want to go ahead and offer that to other projects that are already established, that you say, hey, what if XYZ project had a fantastic mobile app that would make it so simple, folks would never have to go to MetaMask, or they would have a way to get involved and start investing and earning this 2% a day. I'm talking here maybe a 5-6 minute setup. So that's going to be huge, and giving that to other projects that don't have the talent, the resources, the experience that we have. Also with our liquidity controller, it's going to be two products that folks that want to launch a great project, they can come to us. We'll be happy for a small fee to let them plug and play into our technology and go out there and do what they want to do. Create the next big thing. Innovations is so important, and as time passes, we all see that innovation really comes into play. We're here innovating, but 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, there will be other innovators. So let's help them. Let's also invest in them if we see that they have a great concept, potential team, and we can all benefit from that as well. So the revenue streams, investing in the real world, our app, that's what we're passionate about. That's where we want to be. We don't want to sit around and just do what everybody else does. We want to go out and use our prior past experience and connect everything so that we can all really grow. Is there somebody who might have a question or a comment? We'd love to hear from you. You can unmute your mic and join us.
I'll ask a question. What's public sale price going to be for the first round?
We haven't sat to calculate it yet, and now we've added this 50,000, extended it, but we'll know very shortly as we're done really early. So we were planning to do that Thursday before Friday's official, public round. So that's something that we're going to be able to get to fairly quickly, as it's just simple math. Good question though, and it is important.
Okay, awesome, thank you. And when you get a chance, check your DM from me if you get the opportunity.
Fantastic. Let me go ahead and look right now. And thanks for being back here.
Yeah, no worries, man. Pleasure.
All right. Yeah, and let me just go ahead and. All right.
The Founders Syndicate. So I think the initial raise that you did initially, was that the same as the private in terms of
Yes,
token price?
absolutely. It was the same price. They didn't have a max or a minimum. They had a set price of $1,000 per syndicate founder, and it's kind of unfair to them. They gave us money, I think in like March, April, and they've been
Months
waiting.
ago,
And yeah, and it's kind of unfair to say, hey, wait, but these guys are coming in and they're getting the same price. We've had our funds here, but it's not really unfair in the sense that they were part of a
They
project.
become an automatic referrer as well, right?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, that's exactly it. If there's a lot of folks that came in here today, there was quite a lot of folks from our phase one, and those folks are all coming under them. So we're filling, a lot of their team for them. So I think it's good for these fantastic folks that got into the whitelist. I think it's good for the, syndicate founders, and it's good for everybody. Look, fairness is extremely important, man. If it's not good for you, if it's not good for me, if it's not good for her, then what's the point of it, right? So we got to make sure that everybody's happy. You can't please every single individual. I mean, most of the time you kind of can if you're doing the right thing. And if it's not something very controversial. We had absolutely no negativity or comment whatsoever. I think they know who we are. They know what we're about, and they've had a lot of patience with us to find the right developers here. And now we do. So there was never really, any issue with that. There were some folks that, did need funds. It's been a tough market out there, right? The past couple of months. And unfortunately, if they did get a refund, they lost their spot. They lost their opportunity. So, the folks that are there, and we've also identified some folks that we want to bring in here as syndicate founders that are just going to, bring so much potential, so many great, investors that they already, work with every day. So, man, it's been fantastic the way it's all come together, and they're happy. I think the folks that invested, this past 3 days are extremely happy as well. And the folks that are becoming on the 3 rounds of public are also going to be doing well. I mean, it's all been built that way to have that fairness and to have that security. And that's a hard word to say, but just the fact that every single token is going to be deposited into the ARK vault, and we're not going to have to look over our shoulders and worry if any whale or any big group is going to come and dump their tokens on us is to me, very reassuring. I'm going to sleep very good at night because I know the smart contracts and the way the intention behind the mechanisms were built, so we wouldn't have to worry. And I've been there before. I've been concerned. Is there too many people in the white cell? Is there too many people that are going to take advantage? And they generally do if you give them that opportunity. So what do? We took it away. You want an opportunity? It's here. But we're not going to let you take advantage of any other investor, drain liquidity, or play your game that is not fair to everyone. If we all follow the same rules and we take away those variables, then my friend, happy days. Let's get this crypto. Any other question?
Agreed. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Who would like to join us, ask a question? Maybe somebody's really happy that they minted today and they're excited. They want to, dance on top of the tables and show some enthusiasm. We we give you the stage to go ahead and do that. And for you folks that we didn't get to, we were so busy. I know there are a lot of folks that are still in my DMs. I do apologize. It really was unbelievable and overwhelming demand how fast it all kind of came together and happened. Thankfully, we were able to, I think, manage the situation very well. And, there's enough time. We spaced this out that as we continue through our process of the public rounds, we're going to be able to make sure that all of you are going to be quite happy and in a good position.
99.9%.
All right. Almost there. I mean, we're going to do the last one for whoever's going to be the last.
Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye.
Let's go.
Oh, man. Fantastic. Yeah, there was definitely no doubt. I mean, the oversubscription, I believe it's almost 8-1. We could fill all of the rounds of public today with the amount of people writing, please take my money. I'm not kidding, guys. It's intense. And now we got to go back and go through everything and contact the folks. And we're in no rush. December 2nd, we've got a meeting this week with CERTIC. We had an hour-and-a-half meeting on Friday with CERTIC. And that's a priority for us. So, we're not going to try to use this momentum, which is an idea, but we don't want to hurry things up. I know that the folks that are involved are thinking very long term, and now that they're in, they've got a week to really set up and go out and get the public pre-sale, taken care of. And I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. I don't want to make any projections or put any fear out there that it's going to sell out fast. We just have to wait and see how everything works out. But we're going to be doing some efforts. I've got someone that I got to answer to today that's waiting about a AMA tomorrow. So let's see if that's going to come through, and some more great things. And there was 2 things that I wanted to do, but there was folks that I'm still waiting for a response from them. So I'm not going to announce what I wanted to until we get the confirmation and it's all clear for you guys. Is there anybody that wants to ask a question or say a comment? Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, I've got a question. I was in the AMA earlier, but I've just been reading the chat, and a concern has been raised about NFTs. Say, for example, someone buys a platinum NFT, typically someone with a lot of money. Are they then able to compound a lot quicker than somebody who doesn't have enough money?
Not a lot. It's not a lot quicker. They have an advantage, obviously, because they're putting more. Do you mind muting your microphone because you're getting a really strong echo? All right, thank you so much. Let's try it again. There is an advantage as folks get the NFT, okay, and that liquidity comes into the whole system. That's a sacrifice that they're making. They're not able to get funds back on that. They are getting a DAO vote. They are getting a CWR component that's going to extend them and help them, as well as profit sharing into everything that we do here. Whether it's our services to other projects with our tech, or our investments when we're crossing over and to the real world and doing things that we want to do here. So I wouldn't use the word a lot, and there's also, the component of, there's limits, right, to the wallets. There's a 4,000 ARK token limit. That would be a dangerous proposition if we think about it for a second. If they could have a very, very large supply of ARK token and have more of a, strategy that they'll be able to get a higher return. So that's been all calculated very carefully to make sure they're going to get an ROI a bit quicker, but it's not going to be massive, and it's not going to be a very, very large percentage of our pool. So what I'm trying to say to you is that it's balanced, it's fair to those that do, come and extend.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if Brett, you want to chime in on that? Brett,
He's
He what?
addressed it in the chat. He's responded.
Okay. All right. He's always the best when it comes to the technical and the variable part of things. Okay, support ecosystem, the finance to everyone's benefits. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bringing us that liquidity. Look, guys, our aim here is to really be able to generate, through our investing in the real world, as well as what we're able to go and offer to other projects. Our goal is to be able to pay everybody 10 times over what's owed. So, having more resources and having that capital to go out there and do what we want to do, and getting to opportunities that, a single person, the little guy, really can't take advantage of. But us as a project, obviously voting into our down system, it's really, really going to support everybody that's here. Another part of the NFTs, as you grow into the system, you can also go ahead and upgrade. You don't have to buy it, today. We've put a large amount of, especially of the silver ones that are more affordable. And, we wanted it to be plentiful so that nobody here felt, from, day one that they had to go out there and buy those NFTs. There's also another factor that you can't have several NFTs in the same wallet. So we're very confident that it's well balanced and makes a lot of sense. And those who can, play a higher game, they're going to take a higher risk, because you do have to equate the risk factor in investing. You can't just say, well, that guy has a lot more money than me, it's unfair. No, you got to say, wait, he's risking a lot more than me. He's taking a bigger chance. And by his investment, by his higher risk, it should give you comfort, and it should give you assurance that there's folks that know what they're doing generally, if they're, quote unquote whales. But the issue I find is when systems are created so for them to take advantage of the little guys. That's where it's wrong. They're taking more risk, but because of that risk, they're going to really be able to do some damage. I hope that really, helps to answer your question, sir.
I've got a question.
Please go right ahead.
Yeah, this 290%, is it of the maximum 290% payout? Is that calculated based on the initial deposit, or is that including the compounds as well?
Sorry, I have a
Well,
message here.
every time you compound, you raise your principal balance.
Got it. Okay, so the 290% is basically off your principal balance that keeps increasing anyway as you compound.
Hold on a second, because I'm a bit confused with the question. Brett or SK, do you understand his question better than I do?
100%, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we're done?
Yep.
All right. Let's go. Man, my fingers are going to get to rest. So is there anybody here that can give Carbon more clarity? I do not want to speak out of turn. That's a very precise question.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but every time you compound, your principal balance goes up and increases the max payout until you get to 80,000 ARK tokens total, not 80,000 ARK tokens in your wallet. That's total.
That is correct.
So it's total payout of 80,000 ARK, pretty much. That's the maximum. But basically, I suppose my question is about the only time when you're going to be limited to no longer be able to withdraw or compound is when you hit 80,000 ARK, not just 290% of your initial deposit, which is if I only have 1,000 at the beginning, it's not going to stop when I have, what's that?
No, 2,900. No, you're correct.
Okay, got it.
Hey,
Thank you.
hey, Carbon. Yeah, correct. The sorry, my baby's crying, but the compounding will raise your principal balance, and then you get paid out up to 290% of that principal balance, unless you're withdrawing constantly, and you will drop to the 0.5% if you do this. But unless you're withdrawing constantly, your max payout will continue to grow up to the 80,000 paid out rewards. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Understood. Yeah, thank you.
okay, great, no problem.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. And also, Brad, thank you so much, too. I didn't want to speak out of turn as I wasn't completely exactly sure of the question. Is there anybody else that has a question, would like to ask or comment or rejoice with us? Because that's quite fantastic. We have gone ahead and filled that extra 50K. We are officially closed, ladies and gentlemen. So next we have on Tuesday, the contest that's pinned. That's going to give you a chance to get a couple more of those spots, as well as Friday going to our public pre-sale. We're quite excited about that. And you're going to see a lot of upgrades and updates on the website, the team profiles. The Kelly Snook calculator is going to be released as well. And that's going to be quite exciting as we sit here and go through it. It's going to give us a lot more clarity and help folks that, really want to understand all the variables of the investment. I think you'll benefit a lot from that, Carmen, to be able to see really, what the best strategy is for you, what you want to do if getting the levels of rewards, or if you want to go for an NFT, or you're going to wait till you get to a certain level before you go ahead and make those investments and so forth. Everyone's going to play their own strategy, their own game, and we'll be here to help you go through it. And myself, the rest of the team are also going to be sharpening our knife and understanding all the variables. Brett Norton's really been the engineer working with this. Our advisors have helped him, and from the work that's been done and the very experienced folks that have analyzed the way the system's been together, they're quite happy with the way it's come out. So we look forward to really expanding on our knowledge base, and as we understand it better, we're going to be able to also simplify it. Ideally, when you can take something like this and explain it to a 10-year-old, I think that's when we can pat ourselves on the back and say, hey, we got this completely covered inside out. Is there anybody else that has a question or a comment? We'd love to hear from you. And for you folks that are sending me DMs, I will get back to you when we finish the podcast this evening. Thank you all for your patience. You've really been fantastic.
I'd just like to say congrats to the team, 100% filled. That's awesome.
Thank you, Z. Appreciate Appreciate that, and looking forward to having you spend time here with us as we grow and we get to share with you and have you drop those pearls of wisdom and knowledge that I've grown to really like from your podcast. How many podcasts do you think you've done so far, Z?
I was counting it. I think above 360. So yeah, it's been a busy year and a half. And we continue. There's been a lot of cool stuff that's happened this weekend. And if we're done with the technical side, I'd like to get into it.
Absolutely. Let me just make sure. Is there anybody that has a question or a comment? This is your chance to say what you would like, share your excitement. We're very excited here. I think we've expressed that clear to you as not only did we go ahead and accomplish what we thought would take a week, but we've also extended it and made sure that those folks that didn't have enough time to really go ahead and mint, they had the opportunity to go ahead and do so. So let's just give it another maybe 30, 40 seconds, Z.
Hey, Atlas, I have a little question.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thanks, guys. You've all been great. I've spent a lot of time with Chris helping me out as well. More concerning the net deposit value. So if I was to deposit, say, 4,400, which comes out to 4,000 on day one, everyone's worries to obviously go down to 1% or negative. How would you be able to stay positive receiving your 2% daily? Because it says in the white paper that compounds are considered neutral, and I would be forced to do a 5-2, let's say, if I bought a silver NFT.
All right. We'll let Brett go ahead and take that.
Hey guys, yeah. So if you purchase the silver NFT, then the way that the NDV works is that when you withdraw, it's a negative effect on the NDV. So what it would do is to extend your 2% longer. In a single wallet, you probably won't get to 4,000 with our pre-sale NFTs, but you would have to make a larger deposit at launch. But then that would extend that wallet at 2% for quite a while, probably beyond 10,000 tokens. So you'd more than probably double your bag. I'd have to run the calculations on it. And that's one of the things that Kelly Snook's calculator will do. I know also SK is breaking this down, the benefit of the NFT and the whole question around 2%, making withdrawals and then fresh deposits and how to sustain that for the longest period possible. So more of that information will trickle out here in the next week or so. So maybe consume some of that and then circle back to us if there's any more questions.
Got it. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm just trying to figure out the best strategy because we do pooled wallets as well. So if we deposit, is it better to deposit 2,000 day one and leave some for fresh deposits to kind of extend it longer? Or what would happen with 4,000? But I guess it's guaranteed you're going to hit negative at one point if you max your full deposits on day one.
Yes, so Kelly's calculator will take into account all those things as well as multi-wallet strategies. And then you can see how it affects depositing more or less into each wallet.
Got it. All right. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
To add to that, we're making sure that in the user interface, right, of the app, that if you're going to do an action that's going to be, negative towards your investment, it's going to have certain warnings that are going to catch your attention and remind you, hey, wait, if you do this today, because maybe you're busy or distracted or something happened and you're not completely sure of your actions and you haven't gone through the blockchain and look what you did the day before and so forth. We're going to make sure that in the user interface, you will see those, there's, well, we haven't shown it actually to you yet, but you'll see as we get a little closer of what it looks like. And also, those components that are going to draw your attention to not conduct a negative action. So the first week's going to be really, really important. We're going to have to hunker down here and make sure that everyone really understands, according to how they're launching and how they're setting themselves up, so that exactly like, as you mentioned, you're going to be able to stay at the most positive, value.
Yeah, got it. It makes sense.
Yeah, you have to. It's just being responsible. We're not here to get folks or encourage or even wish for anybody to make a mistake and not be completely mindful of that might be a very common scenario. Folks can get quite distracted very easily, but even beyond that, it's just having that calculation ready and understood. So as you said, set up your wallets and set up your deposits in the most precise way, especially that first week of launch.
Great. Thanks, Atlas. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you for the question. That helps, I think, a lot of folks here who are maybe thinking the same thing, but are just maybe waiting back a little bit for the calculator and everything to come out as it's quite expected. But yeah, we're happy to have that, and we're going to be better poised and prepared to go deeper and dive exactly and we could open up the screen share and we get the calculator and we can start with some components. And I can't wait to get to that point where we sit here and we do that together with you. It'll be quite fascinating and I think a really interesting experience.
Hey Atlas, we've got a question in the chat here about listing YouTubers that cover ARK. Are we allowed to drop names yet, or is that something that's going to come in the future?
Oh, there's a lot already in the work. I don't want to speak out of turn. There's quite some stuff happening that good folks that to really do some really good video. We already said SK is working on something, and when SK works on something, man, we prepare and we take notes, and that's going to be a fantastic tool really for new folks that come here. They know that if there's an SK video, they can go over there and it's going to answer technically and simplify things in a way that I think folks can take a lot out of that. I know he did for us in phase 1 a great video when a lot of folks were coming in, they hadn't taken the time to look at the white paper or do any research. One of the first things we did is like, hey, have you seen the SK video? Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, please go right ahead, check that out, and then come back. And, look, a lot of times they come back and they're like, oh man, okay, I get it. They might have a simple question or two, but generally folks really understand it. And, we're very grateful to him for doing that, because he has a gift for really explaining complex systems to folks in a easy to understand format, and it's fun. He's really entertaining while he does it. So, that's really what I'm looking forward to, his video. There's also some other folks that I know are involved and that are working. There's 15 YouTubers out of Italy that are currently working really hard, and they're just going to go, like crazy with ARK. They're just in love with our system. I've personally had a private meeting with these fantastic folks, and they're very well organized. They're very well set up. I don't speak Italian. I understand most of it, but I don't speak it fluently. But they're good investors, great investors. So we're gonna see that going, and a couple other folks too. Thanks for the question. And as those videos come in, we're gonna go ahead and post them here. There were some folks today that were requesting access to drop some Medium articles. we're very careful as to, links that are being posted, and we don't want to let our chat here be a place for poaching or spamming for teams. You can do that, guys, on your turf, on your groups, on your discords, and we encourage you to build, but we always want to keep it very, very professional here in an environment that if somebody's new, we have to take into consideration that they were referred by somebody. We have to respect that. I would not like to bring my neighbor or my dentist or somebody here and have someone try to, be slick and DM them or be helpful just with an ulterior motive to take them from you. That's extremely important. That's what we did with our phase 1. That's not going to change. And there will be hammers handed out, obviously, and, warnings. But if anyone wants to drop a link to a Medium article or YouTube video, you're welcome to contact our admins, moderators, and request for access to do your post. After you do your post, you will be not allowed openly to do that again. That's just to keep everything here very, very professional and clean. And I hope that's something that you guys can understand and vibe with, and I think it's correct, right? So important to allow that. We value your work, and especially if you're bringing fantastic material that you've worked on. We'd love to look at it. We'd love to maybe get a perspective on the way you do things that help us and help anybody else that comes here. So feel free. Does anybody have a question in particular about that, or really anything else?
We've got another question in the chat. Let me just get back to it. Have you stress tested ARK model with testnet, and will there be an economic audit?
We are in talks with some white hat hackers. Pardon me. They're going to come in after the CERTIC audits are performed, and yeah, they're gonna really take a stab at it and try to find every way possible and impossible that hasn't been created yet to make sure that every contract and the way that everything's put together is not leaving any backdoor or vulnerability that we haven't foreseen in the coding and setting up the whole system, right? So great, fantastic question. It's extremely, extremely important. So those guys will come in, and it'll be done on the contract side as well as looking financially too at the sustainability. That's something that's being worked on. The calculator really falls into that as well. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic question, and it has to be done before we go ahead and launch this. Extremely, extremely important. Please make sure to thank that individual who asked that.
That is Vince. He's in the chat. So let me just check. He's still in the VC.
So he heard my answer.
He can hear you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question, Vincent. Does that cover every aspect? Because you're right, I couldn't really go over it again. I believe so.
Will we have any auto compound?
Can you repeat that, sir?
Will we have like auto compound?
Auto compound, yes. Yes, excellent question. I'm sorry I didn't understand it the first time. That is important, especially with the CWR. We want that to be automated according to the levels, especially the folks that are going to have NFTs. We want to make sure that they stay in line, and having the auto compounding is going to help you to kind of sit back and let it keep you exactly at the CWR that you want according to what you can and can't do. But yeah, absolutely, extremely, extremely important.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, some people are not big fans of auto compounding, but with the variables we have, I think it's important. We all want to make sure that we're executing correctly our actions. There is a 24-hour timer, and there's one action per those 24 hours. There's also a 200 ARK token amount that you can sell any 24 hours as well. That's an important component. Again, everything is done to just make sure that we don't have any large volatility that's going to create any problems for the rest of us.
I do got a follow up on the auto compounding. Did you guys? Oh,
go ahead.
Did you guys do a separate contract for the auto compound function? Because I know it gets pretty pricey in gas.
I'd have to check on that. I don't know what Mr. Green or Coder has actually done. I've never asked him that, or he hasn't shared that part with me. But I can tell you that we have talked before about some other protocols in the ROI DApp space, and you can see a difference in tax. And that's generally because of the way that of the transactions, and if it's doing 2 transactions or 1 transaction at a time. And if he was here, I think it was Friday or Thursday. I don't recall exactly which podcast it was, but he touched on that, and he was saying on average, the savings of the way he's coded, it's quite substantial. Every transaction, what he's saving, and he said the amount, but I don't want to speak out of turn and say it incorrectly. We'd have to go back and check that recording, or I could just ask him. Probably easier, more time saving. But it was.
Yeah, he thought he would save about 20 cents in gas on each transaction.
Nice. Hey, you guys have thought about it, so that's all. You answered my question.
I thought he said 30, Brett, but again, I didn't want to speak out of turn.
Yeah, it was significant. I mean, it's the amount of transactions, depending on how many you're doing, how many wallets you have, it could be quite a bit.
And thank you for the question, DS. Very, very important. And also to the gentleman who asked about the auto compounding. Thank you.
I've just recently joined this group. I have no idea what this is. I know that it was brought across my desktop, and the few that have brought it to my desktop, I've got a lot of faith in them in general in the space. Is this like an ROI DApp, from my understanding, just from the brief listening on this? I'm actually currently just downloading.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It is our DApp, and it's 2% a day.
Okay. What made you do this? What was the or if you're in charge of it, like as a group, whoever the team is, what was the main function and problem solving that brought you to this point? Like what pushed you over the edge to bring your own project to life?
Well, I've done projects before. This one primarily was a couple of fantastic folks that I've known in the space who missed out on drip, right? And they're like, man, we love this project. It's so innovative. And they approached me and said, could you handle this for us? And I was actually working on something else in crypto, but something that really, it's a much, much more ambitious and bigger project. And I said, well, look, yeah, I don't think this could be too much of an issue. And it could be interesting to do something as the much bigger project comes together. There's a lot of work that's happening there. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and take this challenge. And that's how it came to me. And I really never invested a drip or an ROI DApp. So I had to first learn and get educated. SK was, one of the first persons that really took the time and sat with me and walked me through it. And at that time, Splashiv came out, and we had looked at their contract, and it looked really, really scary. And, we were able to really take the time and find what was working and what wasn't working, and seeing what's been coming out in since really February. A lot of inspiration there, and the real incentive is to be able to take it to another level, and then combining here what we can do in the real world with crypto, which is the experience of the team and putting a fantastic team together to make it come to life. So going and just forking something is futile, in my opinion. It's better to take your time and analyze it. And everything here has been built and is going to continue to build from scratch. We have such talent in house, so that's how we came to it. And where we're going, I think is fits the ROI DApp, but combining it with the factors. And if you take some time, spend some time with us and look through the white paper. Have you invested into ROI DApps before? Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. I was actually SK was the one who personally walked me through my drip, and that was a very interesting thing. What a wonderful thing to keep. I'm surprised that these things last as long as they do, and to have ecosystem that goes along with it. That it's working. I don't know how you guys make that stuff work, but go on. I got a call. Darn it. Sorry.
All right. Is there anybody else until this gentleman gets back that has a question? All right, it might take a while. Is he still with us?
It doesn't look like it.
No, he is. There he is.
What's up, people? How we doing?
Can you tell your story? How you missed out?
Sorry, you cut off there, man. Could you repeat that?
Can you tell us the story how you missed out on drip?
Oh man,
That's a good one.
drip. As I said, like with drip, like it was never like explained to me how to basically either compound or claim on the thing, and you would basically so I think I got into drip, and then I forgot about the investment, and then I saw my tokens go up, I think 30x, and I closed it. And then later I found out that there was much more to it than what the eyes revealed, and that's the sort of issue that a lot of projects end up doing. They don't like. They keep a small community where they sort of secretly tell everyone what's going on, but they don't like make it public. And that's what we're going to do a bit different here. We're going to be basically telling folks about all the features, and now we have much more going on. But yeah, drip, as I said, like it was a big thing, and if I held, I would have been in the millions right now. So, but that's cool. That's the learning experience, right?
How did you hear about drip? How was it brought to you?
How was it brought to me? Drip was basically through a friend. A friend would just message me saying, "You need to stake on this platform," and basically I staked. I listened to him, and I asked him for much more, but even him, like he was supposed to be the one that like explained to me all its sort of roadmaps and all its features, and he just gave me a Discord link that never really answered the questions. And unfortunately, yeah, like, but I wasn't the only one. Quite a few people had the same sort of persona, and we ended up trying to message the founder to see why weren't we like told of its functionality. Why was it like a small group of folks told it, and not the vast public that actually put money towards it? So yeah, man, I like, even though it was a 30x, I made some money, but I do regret not just holding and compounding and understanding its features. And unfortunately, he failed to do that. So yeah, a lesson learned.
Yeah, I remember when I came to you and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this thing." He's like, "What?" It's like drip. Oh man, I hodled that. I got a 10x and I got out. I didn't even know that you can grow teams. And
Absolutely, absolutely. If I had the sort of knack of knowing that there's a team building exercise to it and there's many other features to the vault, then I would have honestly built around it and educated folks around it and really built a drip army. And I would have brought like a few thousand folks here. But that's what we do here. We get a second chance in life. That's what we have here.
Oh man, I like that. I like that. A second chance. Hey, why not, man? Why
Absolutely. Mhm. But the difference here is I think folks have much more leeway here and are informed better. And we have these podcasts. So if people miss them, they can go through key events and honestly the first 10 minutes are going to be important for folks to get an update. And I look forward to like most of the questions being answered there, and then people asking further questions in the telegrams and discords. So we're gonna have much more. Like as I said, like the thing with drip is it lacks communication, and hopefully here we can also. I mean, I'm sure there's people here from drip as well that went through the same thing. But yeah, we hope to communicate better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Really, really important. Communication, I think, I mean, anything you're doing, whether it's in business, whether, you're talking to your doctor or, personal relationship, friends, being very clear and having that open line. I've always made sure to make that a priority in anything I've done, whether in personal life or in business, but especially business. It's extremely important. Goes hand in hand with growth and success. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Transparency, fact-based learning, and having a clear persona of what's going on is really important. And unfortunately, in DeFi, and we've seen it in the tech bubble previously, that founding members were not honest and transparent, and we've seen quite a bit of that in DeFi, unfortunately. But as I said, like that's why we sort of have a I would say a wash of the scene, and we have storms, so we can clear out all the clogs, and then we have more transparency and clarity on what's going on, and yeah, as I said, like people in drip made a bunch of money, but they were not consistent with how they approached building their teams and stuff. So hopefully even them, they like I said, I wish I knew more. I wish they even get a second chance to really build here and build an ecosystem of ideas and real passive income. That's what DeFi is about. Activity. So basically, I had this one article I wanted to cover at least, because Brett kind of touched on stable coins a little bit, and especially ones that are backed with a clear treasury. So if all questions are answered, I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit.
Go right ahead, man.
Yeah, of course. So the same USDC coin, right? It's backed by Circle. Today, Circle launched its Euro stablecoin coming out in 2023, and they're going to be releasing it on Solana on the first half of 2023. And I look forward to it because they're actually going to be backing it on the node, and it's going to be all Euro order books. So they're bringing stational finance into this, and it's not going to be a treasury that's just built on speculation and just burning sorts of stables to keep the price at a peg. There's much more going on here. So this was a little message from the founding members at Eurocoin. So there you go. We're really excited with the use case that Eurocoin will unlock on Solana's ultra fast, ultra low cost network, 24/7 instant FX on chain. So you'll have transactions that are 24/7. You don't have to go through a broker if you're trying to convert into the Eurocoin. And they basically expanded here. They go, we expect a wide range of bridges, wallets, and dApps of all types to serve and users and facilitate seamless movement of USDC throughout the crypto ecosystem. So yeah, so this is a kudos to USDC and how they're expanding in Europe. And Europe has been a bit more welcoming to stable coins than around the world, and that's why we're European based. And it's pretty cool that they're bringing the Euro coin. So next time, next time you're looking for a purchase in the mall in Spain or like in Europe, we can use the Euro coin. And they're looking to have it open in all stores, and soon you're gonna have card processors that are gonna be using the Euro coin. So that's pretty positive news for on the stablecoin front, especially from USDC.
It's huge, man. And do you know why Solana?
So Solana compared to other ecosystems and sort of mainnets is actually having much more success when it comes to transaction rates. There's others that are like bigger than Solana that could do a better job, but Solana apparently is a more faster way of transaction. I think the nodes sort of say transactions per second is about, you can say 3.5 to 4,000. So that means a faster transaction. So if you're in let's say, for example, a Starbucks and you're paying for your Frappuccino, it would take approximately 5 seconds to put the process through of a transaction of a few euros. So yeah, it's a faster transaction. That's one reason. And apart from that, Solana did something really big this week. They had a big conference, and they revealed that Google Cloud is going to run its nodes through its engine, which is quite big in development, which shows you the moves that they're making in the real world. What do you think of that? What do you think about Solana working with Google?
That's crazy. I mean, I thought when they were launching their phone, I was like, okay, but I mean, Google's just a whole other level. But I think it's curious because, from my understanding, USDC is working with Cosmos, right?
Yeah. Now, like Atom is an ecosystem that works with USDC. USDC is based. They have liquidity pools not just on Atom, but they have liquidity pools on Ethereum as well. But they're looking to like focus more on Solana, especially with Solana's like sort of smartphone that they're looking to launch. So there's going to be wallets there. So I'm looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to the Solana sort of phone division and how they work with the Google Cloud nodes, because Google Cloud has the most efficient nodes on the internet. And for them to choose Solana above all, because apparently they did a lot of vetting in the background from what I hear from friends, that Google went through, I think, 106 different ecosystems. And for them to choose Solana, even like Solana had it hard as well. I mean, Solana was it like early this year and last year, they did have some issues with their ecosystem where transactions were shut down, and they had to halt and reset their mainnet a few times. But the point is, like, they were honest and transparent about it. A lot of folks are left in the mud when something shuts down. But to have Google Cloud now backing their nodes is a big relief, I think, for them when it comes to TPS rates. But yeah, that it's pretty big that Google chose Solana as its validator.
Incredible. That is really incredible, man. And yeah, with the Eurocoin, look, I don't think crypto is going anywhere, my friend.
No way. I mean, the way it works is it's like Web 2.0 companies. What they do is they allow the weather to settle, a little bit, and that's the kind of hearsay that I got, that a lot of these sorts of like Metas and these sort of big tech companies, what they did on the vast majority of 2021 and even 2022 is they just monitored, and they weren't just monitoring like the roadmaps of a lot of ecosystems. They were monitoring the nodes. They were monitoring things like Etherscan to see the transaction rates and stuff. So I think what we're going to see now is basically Web 2.0 sort of merge on several projects when it comes to NFTs. But for me, like stable coins are a big part of where DeFi goes, because stable coins are where people take profits and sort of move their money into fiat backed sort of rate because of its sort of deflationary outcome. So I think stable coins is going to be a big thing. And now we're going to have the midterms in America, and I feel stable coins are going to be a good part of the discussion going forward, especially with CBDCs and other things. But yeah, stable coins are going to be quite big, and yeah, stable coins have had a tough ride, especially with this bear market. Things get revealed to us that we didn't think of, such as the Luna crush, and how they backed like such high leverage on such BTC prices and AVAX prices and Solana. They tried to create a treasury, but they were buying tops. So and to have that sort of treasury back your stable coin is pretty risky. So to see Circle with USDC go into like actual you can say real world use cases, like actually backing through treasury bills and bonds, and now to be opening through Europe with Eurocoin is big, and so they're making big moves, and we'll keep tabs on that. Like usually we keep tabs on adoption of crypto, of ATMs and stuff, but now we're going to be looking at how things like Solana and Polkadot and Polygon, and how they like sort of merge with the real estate market, with the you can say the traveling market, the many different scopes of you can say hedge money, and how they work with Fidelity and offer retirement funds and many other things, because currently with how fiat backed pension funds and stuff work is the returns are quite bad, and basically so that's where DeFi can come in and become that mediator and become those nodes. So yeah, DeFi is going nowhere. We're only getting started.
Absolutely, man. That is quite fantastic, and yeah, I want to see how this Eurocoin thing really pans out. How the ECB incorporates that, and USD is really taking over. I also like to see a Swiss franc coin from them, or if Binance did something like that. Through history, in times of a lot of inflation and volatility, the Swiss franc has always really maintained great value, time and time again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With sort of the Swiss franc and how Switzerland works, I've been reading a little bit about it, and they seem to have Tezos as their blockchain of choice for peer-to-peer transactions. So we'll see how Tezos sort of builds across that. But yeah, we would love to have a Swiss franc backed stablecoin for sure. I'm looking forward to that as well, because thus far, whilst we've had chaos in the world, the Swiss franc seems to keep a stable price. There's many reasons behind that. But yeah, so their choice is Tezos currently. So the other thing I found pretty cool in the news of like when we talk about NFTs is Beeple, and Beeple was announced on the same Solana conference to be working on his own marketplace via Metaplex and Render Network. So you're gonna see some Beeple, and it's pretty cool. Like Beeple said some really cool stuff. He said that we're gonna be less sort of concentrated on speculative NFTs, and we're gonna be looking to like tap into people's emotions, experiences, and have something that's more long term, which is pretty cool for him to say. So Beeple will be working on Render Network on Solana. So Solana have been making big moves this week, man. Like compared to a lot of others. So this is great news. Like I think last week I was telling you like which of these mainnets would really start to take real world use case and work with real artists and stuff. And to see Solana like work with people here, do Eurocoin. This is big. This is big. It's early days, but they're making big moves.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of his. I like that he bought carbon credits with his big paycheck. You know, probably he said some. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was so many thousands of hours, right? That the guy's been on a computer and draining energy. That I thought it was a really nice move. As I've spent over a decade working also on the whole carbon credit side of really bringing trying to bring a balance at least to making renewable energy projects more viable and taking care of deforestation, which is brutal. We're cutting about 3 football fields a minute. The last calculation I've looked into of rainforest over in the Congo. It's insane. It's not growing back that fast, and so big fan of that because he brought a lot of light to that whole part of being a record selling artist in the NFT space and taking that pulpit, right, and being able to bring a lot of folks' attention as to, hey, think for a minute, what can we do, what can we support. So that's always a very positive thing. So great to see he's over there. I honestly, man, have not been paying attention to really anything that's going on, outside of ARK, as all, hands on deck and focus has been here. So it's kind of refreshing to hear you come and drop, because, there's like, I know waking up tomorrow, we're trying to set up a AMA for 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be like that for a while. So having you here and come and drop some stuff, I know for me, and I think a lot of the folks here, we're so focused in this space that a lot of us do not really kind of keep a lot of attention of a lot of the innovation and great things that are happening. We might get a Google sort of ad, or not really ad. I get articles and things that are put forth, but it's like Michael Saylor stuff, Bitcoin stuff, like pretty general, that you might see in like Bloomberg or, MSNBC, financial or something like that, but not to really find out details. And that's why I always enjoyed coming over to your podcast, because I could, be working, doing other things, but at the same time, getting a lot of this information on a day-by-day basis and keeping up with the current events and news cycles.
Absolutely.
And DeFi.
So on the energy consumption thing, right? Like you mentioned, carbon credits. So another sort of article came out, which was pretty interesting. So basically, these cryptographers and cybersecurity experts, they did a bunch of surveying and research on energy consumption. And what we've learned thus far is Bitcoin uses 0.05% of world energy consumption, right? So Bitcoin got a lot of flack last year, right? When sort of a lot of people speculated on the amount of energy that it uses, electricity. The survey went further into seeing.
Remember Elon?
Yeah,
when he said Bitcoin 30, he took it off of the Tesla website, so you couldn't buy a Tesla with Bitcoin more, and then you get Mr. What they call Mr. the guy from the he clean Bitcoin. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, that was detrimental. I remember that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
They went in deeper.
Yeah. This guy went in deeper and basically did a research on the banking industry, right? So the banking industry uses 56 times more energy than Bitcoin. What do you think of that?
Oh, I thought I didn't know the numbers, but I thought it would be amazing. I mean, just think of every, credit card terminal, right, at a restaurant where you swipe your card. Now they're becoming wireless, but they still need to be charged. And if you were to combine all that, I actually know someone that's building a layer 1 blockchain using, POS terminals at restaurants, globally, which is pretty interesting. But because they're already on, right? They're there to do the transactions and connect, right? The credit cards and your accounting and print the receipts and everything, which is, it's massive and it's just sitting there. But I've thought that and I've wondered, but I've never actually heard a number. But that's always been my go-to. Like, wait, what do you think our currency, our current, rails for transactions are massive compared to this, this new world of crypto transactions and validating, man.
Absolutely. So now we got statistics and we got like real professionals telling you that the banking industry currently uses 56 times more energy than Bitcoin, and Bitcoin consumption is only 0.05% of the world sort of energy use. So these things are going to come into much more fact-based alignment this week and throughout the news, and I don't think it'll make main news because right now the main news is the volatility in the markets due to the midterms. And here's another cool thing, because like you've known me to trade the NASDAQ and the US 30 quite a bit recently. Last week, I saw something really interesting, right? So usually what happens is when Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, speaks, it normally it creates some huge wicks on the charts, and we anticipate that. And what I was doing was, whilst I was looking at like these 400-point wicks, right, on the US 30 and about 200-point wicks on the Dow, on the NASDAQ, I was trying to compare that to how Bitcoin takes up. So whilst I was looking at it, Bitcoin only moved about 60 points in that time of his speech. So his 3 hours, his 1 hour speech with Q&A moved the NASDAQ about 450 points both ways, and the same thing with the Dow Jones. So when I saw Bitcoin just moving 60 points, I thought like this has got to make news, because everything, like we've always talked about the volatility of Bitcoin and crypto. So an article actually came out, like whilst I was thinking these things, it sort of points this out. So this is pretty interesting. It goes, Bitcoin proves to be less volatile than stocks. The Fed Reserve stirred up markets last week, but Bitcoin was less reactive than plain old stocks. What do you think of that?
Crazy. And we've been seeing it, the volatility that's been happening in the US 30. It's like they reverse roles almost. And it's not following it exactly, because we had a good year and a half of it trading like a stock.
Yeah.
Index.
Absolutely. So this is the other thing that people say, Bitcoin to be a volatile asset to invest. The truth is, in the last week, it's proven to be less volatile than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So that says quite a bit about its sort of levels and sort of different technical floors compared to things. So yeah, I mean, like last week we had a bit of inflationary moments where Fed Powell sort of spoke about increasing another 75 basis points, which makes the suffering a bit more. But at the end of it, like he said, that they're looking to ease it a little bit. So that means that people can invest back into things like our DeFi projects, our cryptocurrencies, our Bitcoin. And so that's the good news, that hopefully by March he stops. The Fed stops increasing interest rates, and we can see a reversal there. This was similar to like when Trump came in, and actually, I think what the Democrats did is they created a bunch of regulation, a bunch of increase in thing. I think even living in California became unbearable because of the tax bracket that you have to pay. So I think we're having Jerome Powell kind of go take a U-turn on the interest rate hikes, and hopefully 2023 brings us that, and allows folks to really like take more risk in life and be able to back Bitcoin, and especially buy this bottom that we have currently. So that's the good news. There's positive news. So that's the news there, that Bitcoin is less volatile than stocks.
I'd never hear that, man. I thought I'd never hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff. So
here for the wild ride. I think a lot of the interest from traders, right? That's how I got into crypto, trading it. Really was that volatility. You want that, and we weren't getting anywhere else but here. So funny, really, to see the change.
The turn of events, right? It's like before we would like go out of something volatile as BTC and then go into more like safer things. We're doing the opposite. So that's the news there. But yeah, that's the news there, and that's for Solana's winning the adoptability race with the real world. So we have that to look forward to. And then there were some updates on the FTX thing that I'll sort of cover a little bit another day, because I think it's important to cover that as well. Because whilst we have a you can say, like when we have bearish markets and stuff, like we have a lot of projects that get exposed, and I think we had that with Celsius backing their sort of staking pods with speculative tokens. We're kind of hearing the same thing with FTX. So when FTX got its you can say $750 million initial investment, they backed a bunch of their ecosystems around tokens that were speculative, and now it's been revealed that that's the case, and so there's gonna be more development on FTX. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more later. But that's the update for Sunday. I'm glad a bunch of you can be here and listen to that. So we'll have much.
Thank you so much, man. We're beat, man. we've been at this since early, and didn't expect today to be the day that we would close it out. So we were a lot busier than we had really prepared for and planned. But look, since everything was handled, the contracts actually just opening up another 50K Z was really easy. I mean, it took me less than probably 30 seconds. So we just opened it up again, let it go more, came back. The guys did a fantastic job getting a banner put out so that the communities and teams could go out to their folks and let them know, hey, if you didn't get a chance, if you were busy, they've opened it up again. So look, we're thrilled. A lot more work to do to continue. Tomorrow we'll be back again. I'm personally tired and want to go get some rest, but very happy.
Like, just my little opinion is congrats to the team for filling out so quickly, and down to where I'm glad we didn't just open up a big banner in Times Square like other crypto tokens do. We basically did it in a podcast forum. We kept the community aware, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people at like this late at night are here on a Sunday, well, on Monday now, but we're here, and it's because the team's transparent, and we're going to look to build on these things, especially education and how to build your teams it's something other people at Drip and other, not just Drip, but there's a bunch of crypto projects that would not keep their community informed. And I think here we're kind of doing that and keeping things transparent. And that's why these things are, especially at a bear market, to be filling out this quick. It's an achievement. So kudos to the team. It's a great day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, fantastic. And the advisors, the folks that really been here, and really the investors are really what make any project, succeed or fail. If you got a community that's engaged and believes that you could bring something to the table that is worth their time, their effort, their funds. We all have to work hard, to be able to get money, and to put it at risk is a very, very risky, and difficult proposition. A lot of due diligence has to go into it. So if we're able to convey, and I really appreciate Brett Norden, because the white paper is just fantastic. It's done so well. The time was taken, and then having our advisors come and review and talk it out. Hey, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it that way? And then see it come together, and the investment community embrace it and understand that this is not a overnight thing, that we're here, doing the sacrifice, coming to the ARK Vault and investing for the future. It is a big commitment. It is a big commitment, and the roadmap is something that's also not going to be overnight. It's going to take time and a lot of work. Now we have the fantastic folks that are able really to make it all a reality. So we're grateful, man. We're extremely grateful and appreciative. And this is the best gauge, I think, of where you stand. Let the financial contribution, let the interest, manifest itself in a tangible way that you can measure and say, okay, we're getting a response, and it's there. And I'm, looking forward to, next Friday, our public round 1, 2, 3, and then just all the things that come with it to get us to the launch. So if anybody that might have a question or a comment in that, Z, I'm sorry, I think you wanted to say something.
No, it's all good. I'm just saying, the more we keep things transparent and open, the more we communicate better and have better engagement. And soon we're going to see that on Discord. We'll see much more engagement there, team engagements there for folks, and that's why we're selling out as quickly as we are. And the other thing that we did quite nicely was we spread out it over a month when it came to private sales, public sales. A lot of folks, they basically, without announcing, they just throw out a tweet and throw out an advert and spam people through it. We're not doing that, right?
Correct. We are not doing that. That's not going to work, as they say.
Mm-hmm. No, beautiful day was Sunday. So that's my opinion on the markets, and we look forward to. I think next week we're going to see much more development with the midterms. I keep saying the midterms. I don't like politics. I can't have a conversation, but it does have a big impact on what happens with cryptocurrencies and what happens with a lot of adoption stuff. So I'm looking forward to all these. Like, can you believe it? The first time in like years, man, I'm gonna be like looking at all these senators speak rubbish. Yeah, all that rubbish for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna get wild, and hopefully not too crazy and dangerous. But look, we'll leave on a positive note. Fantastic day, and we'll be back tomorrow. And looking forward to the folks that are going to be joining us this week. There's going to be some. Mark, did you have a question, sir?
I did. The people that got in under the founders' wallets, can they use their referral to try and start getting people into the public sales, or should they use their referrers, the founders' wallet address?
they're supposed to use their address. Now that they've minted, right? They're able to give their wallet to their investors that want to join, really under them.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure what was the best way to go for them.
Great question, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. I'll get back into work. I'll keep listening and start working.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Be good. All right, Mr. Fortunate. Let's just ask one more time. Is there anybody that might have a question or comment before we go ahead and close for this evening? All right. Well, I'd like to thank every single one of you for participating this fantastic day where we reached our target for the private sale. And we're going to be keeping you updated with more announcements as they come. Possible AMA tomorrow that we'll figure out tonight if we're going to be able to make it, or maybe if it's not tomorrow, Tuesday. Stay tuned for announcements, and we'll be keeping you updated. Thank you very much. Have a great night.